Gentlemen, and my brother, Haig, what are we going to talk about today, bro?
Well, I was expecting you to say my dickhead brother like always.
Nah, not today. I'm being nice today.
It's too rainy for you to be in that kind of mood, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. But we still have shit to talk about. So today, we're going to talk about how classic masculinity is dead. And also how we could bring it back, which is very, very hard. But when I say classic masculinity, I don't mean just being a nerd and just dressing up nice and all the superficial stuff, which is 100% very true, by the way. We do need to bring that back. But I'm going to dig a little deeper. Right, Hank?
100%. I think you made a very good point. Because when people think about classic masculinity, it's mostly aesthetics that get brought up. Either they
100%.
think about dressing in a suit and looking like a dork, right? Or they think about having the hairy chest and the roided up muscles and everything. And they think one of those or the other are being classically masculine. When it's not even about your aesthetics.
100%. 100%. It is a bit, bless you to that guy. It is a bit, but it doesn't matter how ripped you are. It doesn't matter how good you dress. If you're still a bitch, you're still a bitch, right, Hank?
100%.
So let's talk about the first thing, which is society actively punishes masculine behavior. I don't know what it is, but in the modern times, masculine behavior is just frowned upon. Any little thing you do, people just look at you like, oh, you're toxic, you're toxic. Like, what? Anytime a man has some sort of standards for himself, he's looked at as toxic. Funny story, bro. Back when we were in Lebanon, right? We used to play basketball here and there, and it was PE. So there was some bimbo that always hated me for some reason, right? She ended up being lesbian. Yeah, no, she did. This is the truth. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything that's a lie. She ended up being lesbian. But every time I said some shit, she used to shit on me. When I was growing up, I was very competitive. As a man, you're supposed to be. Whenever we played any sports in PE, even if it's a sport that I didn't even like, football, soccer, as Americans call it.
When I was in PE, I did not let anyone get ahead of me on the track. I was always first place.
That's what men are missing these days, that competitiveness, right? So anyways, this woman, this girl back in the day, she shitted on me because we were playing and I had a friend, right? Let's call this friend, I don't know, Fatty or something, right? Since we were in Lebanon. I'm just giving him a random name. And something happened to his ankle, right? Prior to us playing basketball. And he was like, oh, guys, I can't play. My ankle hurts. It wasn't that bad. He was walking around, running around, fucking jackass. I told him, hey, bro, stop being a pussy. We got to win the game. And this lesbian girl, she looked at me and she was like, Don, you're so annoying. You can't talk like that. You're so toxic. For calling him a pussy for not playing. You see how we're conditioned? So a normal stupid idiot would have been like, oh, damn, maybe she's right. Maybe this lesbian's right. Calling me a pussy. It's just, what am I supposed to do? What are you supposed to do as a man? It's man talk. Women wouldn't understand, let alone lesbian woman, right? So that's what you're supposed to do as a man. Hey, bro, stop being a bitch. Your friend doesn't want to go to gym. Hey, bro, stop being a bitch. We got to go. You're tired? I don't care. Hey, we got to go talk to girls. Hey, we got to make money. Stop being a bitch. Stop being a pussy. Right? That's what men do.
Absolutely.
That's how you keep each other accountable. And for some reason, she didn't like that. So this is what I mean by society actively punishes masculine behavior. She tried to punish my natural and masculine nature. And this is just a very small thing. And today's times, how's it like, bro? Who are all these masculine role models? They're not really masculine, but all the masculine people, the men on TV, in the movies. What is this, Timothy Chalamet, little rat, right? He's a little rat.
I truly didn't know that he resembles masculinity, does he?
He doesn't, but he's the guy that a lot of women like. You know who we had back in our times, since we're old now? It was Brad Pitt and Troy. Right? Oh, speaking of that, they're remaking the movie, Christopher Nolan. Did you hear about it, Ike?
I believe I did, yeah.
Yeah, you're the one who actually showed me, actually. You said, look, this bitch is going to play Helen or something.
Not Helen, he's going to play...
You know, who's playing the Brad Pitt? Oh, is it the lesbian? Speaking about lesbians, guys. Listen, I'm not trying to make this political. But, listen, it's a warrior. Brad Pitt was playing this guy, Achilles, right? It doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. This is what I'm saying by society is actively punishing masculine behavior. Masculine men, can we have something? Can we have something? Listen, I grew up watching Troy. I saw Brad Pitt. You know, I was like, God damn, I got to get ripped. Who are these men going to have now? This is the thing. If there's a 10-year-old watching this movie, what is he going to want to do? What is he going to want to do? How is he going to get influenced? Do you see what I'm saying? It's actually so sad. It's sad what it's come to. But you have to recognize this. You have to see this. And when they zig, what do, Hag?
You zag.
You zag. When you see all these bitches acting like bitches, you say, fuck that. I'm going to be a man. You got to stop watching all these mainstream, the mainstream news, all these Hollywood weirdo movies, and understand that they're not representing us men in the correct manner. When I grew up, we had Troy, we had Rambo, Rocky, we had fucking Steven Seagal, man. Who else do we have, bro?
Well, Rambo was huge. When I first watched, Rambo Part 1, First Blood, that was the movie that inspired me to get in shape and work out and be ripped.
And not just that. Rambo First Blood, the storyline, everyone coming for his neck, just being how unfair it was against him. And that's life as a man.
And he's defying the odds. He's being masculine.
100%.
He's not complaining, whining.
He's just getting the job done.
He's getting the job done.
This actually made me kind of sad. They even kind of massacred James Bond, bro. They massacred James Bond. If it was that bad, what is it going to happen? What's going to happen next, bro?
There's nothing more
Amazon
disappointing to me than the last James Bond movie. At the current time, it was called No Time to Die.
And he fucking
When
died.
I first watched it in the theater, and this is coming from a huge fan of James Bond. I've watched all the James Bond movies, starting from Dr. No all the way to every single one I've watched. And I know the movies one by one.
100%.
And that movie was a huge letdown. Just the way Bond was behaving.
100%. He was like, Madeline, little girl crying.
He's like,
they just made him look so bad. You know when he went and tried to shake her hand, he's like, hey, Dr. Swan.
That wasn't what bothered me. It's when he goes back to Madeline's house after they got separated, and he saw the child, and he's like, she said, that's not yours. And he's like, okay.
Why?
And he's like, okay.
Why? So disrespectful. Like, he can't ask any questions. You know what Sean Connery would have done? Bitch.
And not only that,
that's my kid.
The fact that 007 was a title given to an agent afterwards that was a black woman.
It just, why?
I thought it was bad enough. We're talking a little bit too much about Bond, but I thought it was bad enough in Skyfall when...
No, we're actually talking about the suppression.
They made the whole dynamic between James Bond and Moneypenny. Like, you probably go to a job, right, as a man, and you have this girl, she might be like at the clerk desk, you flirt with her at work. We all have that as a man.
Of course.
And Moneypenny...
It's called the work wife, bro.
The work wife. and Moneypenny represents that for James Bond. And all of a sudden in Skyfall, instead of being at her desk, she's in combat with James Bond, and she shoots James Bond.
I don't know, man. Shit show.
It's a shit show.
It's a shit show. No, this is actually how they're trying to punish masculine behaviors. This is what I said. What would Sean Connery do in the old James Bond? That wouldn't even happen. That writing wouldn't exist. That's just trying to emasculate the character James Bond, who represents men. Who represents the most masculine men. James Bond does that. And look what they're doing.
It's been a solid...
It's a big deal.
It's been a solid, how many years has it been since Skyfall? It's been 12 years, right?
Yeah.
It's been 12 years they've been doing this shit. It was all downhill from that movie.
No, this is what it does. So when a man watches this, when you're young, 13 years old, you're like, oh, the most masculine guy, James Bond, ripped. Which it doesn't matter how ripped you are if you're still a bitch. They're going to see this and it's programming you. This is what I'm saying. They're against men being men. They don't want you to have masculine traits. They label it as toxic. Standing up for yourself is toxic. Anytime you're being treated unfair and you say, hey, no, I'm not gonna stand for this. Ooh, you're toxic because you're a man. But all these women, all these bitches, there's this stupid podcast. It's like Call Me Daddy or something. Have you heard of it?
I've never heard of it.
Okay, so apparently it's the biggest podcast for females. And this woman just literally tells other women, go first date, give the pussy up, do this. We own them. Like, it's like they're owning men by doing that, by being whores. The crazy shit. We're in weird times, bro. But when a woman speaks like this, she's not toxic, right?
Nope.
Imagine a man just talking like that. This is crazy. We're in crazy times.
Well, divorce courts were established for women. And you know what?
Of course.
Do you know how I define divorce?
Tell me.
It's insurance policy for whores. That's what a divorce is. It's insurance policy for whores.
And actually, in my opinion, the law, right? You know how it always sides with the women? It's like all women are right no matter what. They do that because it internally makes the man afraid of the law. So he naturally has to become a bitch. So if you married this woman, you had kids with her, and for some reason, I don't know, she fucks your neighbor, something happens, she divorces, she takes it all, you have to fold as a man because you can't stand up for yourself. The law is against you. She's against you.
I mean,
what are you going to do? It naturally makes you kind of be a pussy and beg her like, oh, please don't, please don't. You know?
There are ways to get around that. And it actually ties into one of our other points is that you need, you can't be a lone wolf in the end of the day, right?
Oh, never.
Let's say you and I, right? Let's say one of us somehow marries a whore. That will never happen, right?
Yeah.
And you end up divorcing. And the court says, okay, everything you own is going to go to this woman. Half of everything you own. You know what we would do?
Tell me.
Everything that I own would simply go to you, and I would have nothing. It's that simple. Or
brotherhood.
And if I didn't have my brother, I would rather donate everything I own and every penny I have to charity, or burn everything I have.
Burn it to the fucking ground.
Burn it to the ground instead of having it go to some random whore.
Burn it to the ground. I'm not taking shit from anyone. I don't give a fuck. It's crazy. So we talked about this, how they're actively punishing masculine behaviors. They're labeling it as toxic and all this other stuff. But there's one other thing I want to talk about, Hag. And people confuse being masculine as just being muscular and hitting the gym all the time, acting tough. Like, have you heard of this guy, Larry Wheels?
Of course I have.
Okay. So apparently, I don't know, I see it online, I see it on X and stuff, but he had this wife, this supermodel wife, which she did not look like a supermodel, I'll tell you that. And he got married to her. He didn't sign a prenup, and he was against it. And apparently, I don't know if this is all just marketing. It might be, it might not be. Apparently, they divorced now, and he's still paying for her lifestyle. He's just a bitch. Even if it is all fake and fabricated, publicly, you are looking like a whole ass hoe to this guy, Larry Wheels. He used to represent masculinity. Back in the day, like 5 years ago, I used to see him pop up on social media, rip Larry Wheels, like just gym shots with like motivational music playing. It's like men would look up to that. Dude, look at Sean Connery. He's not ripped like that, but he's more of a man than you ever were.
The problem is, that you might say, okay, didn't you just say that Rambo was ripped? Yeah, Rambo was ripped. But the fact that he was ripped and muscular is not what made him masculine. The fact that he gets the job done, he doesn't complain, and he happens to be strong, right? That's what makes him masculine. It's not the fact that he's ripped. He just gets the job done.
It's just a byproduct. Like,
it's a byproduct.
That's something that shouldn't even be talked about. Being strong should just be there, right? Like, you don't have to be on TRT ripped as hell, but you should just take care of your body, because a strong body is a strong mind, and it represents your mindset. You don't have to be ripped like Larry Wheels. Like, I'd argue that most people like that are feminine. I see it all the time. These gym bros, these C-bum ass loving people, they just play these weird clips with motivational music, hoodies up, like they're afraid of women. They're chocolate covered dweebs. That's what these gym bros are. And it doesn't matter how ripped you are, how much testosterone you got. If your soul is corrupted, if you have a feminine bitch ass mindset, you're still a bitch. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Forget the Rambo analogy. Look at Sean Connery, right? He wasn't the most ripped person ever. He wasn't a bodybuilder. I think he was early in the days, but naturally. He wasn't like jacked. But you know that Barbara Walters interview, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Where that woman just tried to make him fold to what he said. And I'm not going to say what he said right now, right? But we all know it's a famous interview. It's everywhere. And he didn't fold. And then she's like, oh, you're going to get a lot of mail about this. And what did he say? Like a G, unbothered. I might get some female. What a G. Sean Connery was a G. Bald-headed too. Just didn't give a fuck. Like, not like these little, these looks-maxing loser. Just a fucking man. Didn't give a fuck. Do you notice how he just played it off? He didn't argue and fight. He wasn't emotional about it. Yeah, I might get some female. Like, she just tried to ruin his career. Like, big time. That is how you do it, bro. That is how you do it. You can't fold.
That's what makes him masculine, not the fact that, let's say he was absolutely D's to the bone 100%. And he had the perfect hairline. None of these things matter. Or the perfect jawline. None of these things matter. The testosterone bullshit. The fact that he stands firm on his opinion. He holds his frame. He holds his frame.
If you believe in something and the whole world is against you, but you still believe in that, are you going to fold under pressure? If 2 plus 2 equals 4, and the world is telling me, no, it's 5. Everyone is telling me 2 plus 2 equals 5. And they all gather around me with a fucking knife and say, it's 5. Say it right now. This could be deeper, right? I'm just using this analogy. It could be on a deep belief that you have. Are you going to fold and say, oh, yeah, guys, sorry, it's 5. No, I'm going to say, it's 4. What are you going to do about it?
I think the year 2020 was the perfect example of how everyone folded and we stood firm on our beliefs. I'm not going to elaborate further, but we stood firm on our beliefs.
2020, what happened, guys? Let's just say there was a needle, right? And everyone had to stick this needle onto them. My brother and I, Hike, people looked at us like crazy maniacs. What happened? It's my body, my choice, as the women say. Grandma killer, this, that. For what? And no, I didn't fold. They did everything. I was broke as hell back in the day. They tried to, I couldn't get jobs because they required it. And I didn't do it. I didn't fold. Everyone else said, oh, I had to do it because I had to travel. Oh, I had to do it because of this, and that. I didn't. And yeah, I had to. What are you going to do? Because I'm a man and I stand firm on my beliefs.
And now it doesn't matter anyways because we don't even need jobs anymore.
It doesn't even matter anyways. Yeah, we don't need to get hired by these losers. You know what? Sometimes I got to give us more credit, bro. I got to give us more credit. But anyways, why don't you come up here and talk about some shit?
Let's do it. I would say the next most important thing that you need as a masculine man is some sort of mission. And you may think it's these little things you do during your day. Like, do you know how all these gurus, they'll say, oh, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. Nothing against the man, Jocko Willink. You have to wake up at 5 a.m. I don't know him, but why do you need to wake up at 5 a.m.?
Because some loser said it on the internet?
Yeah, maybe if you're a Navy SEAL like he is, and you have to wake up at 5 a.m. and that's your mission, then that is your mission, of course. But what about you? In your particular situation, what is your mission? Is it to wake up at 5 a.m. and just sit around and journal and take an ice bath? Like, how are you getting anything done?
Bro, speaking of that, in my opinion, journaling is the biggest waste of time ever. Who journals? Journal about what? Your feelings?
You know how I journal? At the end of the day, after I did everything that I need to, I simply sit down and have a cigar and I talk with my brother.
That's it, man.
That's how I get my thoughts out. I don't need to journal. It's a waste of time.
100%. Yeah,
and back on the topic, I feel the reason people do this is because they truly don't have any sort of mission that it feels productive if they're waking up at 5 a.m. But think about what you're actually doing. You're waking up and you're sitting down, and I don't know what you're doing. You're opening your computer, maybe feeling productive. You're reading a book at 5 a.m. in the morning. What if you just slept 3 more hours and you woke up at, I don't know, 8 o'clock, right? And you actually, as soon as you woke up, you just got to what you need to do. You start your mission, do whatever you have to do to actually progress. Because the reason you need to do this is because the main part of masculinity, like we talked about, is conquering, is it not?
Conquering.
So if you have all these things that you want to do in your life and you're not doing them, you're doing all these other things to get sidetracked, you are not doing your mission properly. The whole point of doing your mission and being on a mission is so you can actually achieve your goals and conquer.
You know what I think it is, bro? To the whole, we're saying we have to bring classic masculinity back. You know what I think is so important about being a man on your own 2 feet? It's that in this internet age, people just listen to anyone. Like, let's say some guy doesn't feel confident about himself, right? He just, I don't know, something was off with him growing up. I mean, as a man, we all start with nothing, right? We all don't know how to get girls for the most part. We all don't know how to make money. We all don't, we're not born out the womb with a jacked body. We don't have these things, And some people might not have a good role model or a father figure in their lives to teach them certain things. So they look at these people and they think, oh, this is what being a man is like. This is what success is like. I have to listen to this person. And they latch on to one of their favorite influencers or something. And they say, this is what being a man is like. So I have to follow this guy's rules. Where that's not being a man. Yeah.
Because you can't have a one-size-fits-all advice.
100%.
That's the problem. If you're listening to, let's say Jocko Willink, he's in a different position than you in life. He has a different career than you. His advice will not work for you.
You have to know what you are after. You have to have your mission and do anything by any means to get there.
Absolutely. So you can't just look at somebody online, like whoever it is, if it's Jordan Peterson, if it's whoever the fuck. You can't just take their advice as the word of God. Because everyone's lives are completely unique. We all live completely different lives. We're in different situations. We're in different financial situations. We're in different physical, in terms of physical fitness, we're all different.
100%.
Like, what is your goal?
Believe in yourself. Like, you are the man. You don't need these masculinity influencers telling you what it's like being a man. A real man has his mission, and it's his mission. It's not someone else's mission. It's your mission.
It's your mission. And if you might be one of these people that say, oh, I truly don't feel like I have a mission. I don't know what to do. That's a whole load of shit, because it's a matter of asking yourself the right questions. If I ask you, where do you want to be, 10 years from now? We all have a general idea of where we want to be in 10 years from now. Everybody in the world does. Am I right or wrong?
100 million%, bro.
So it's your mission is simply reverse engineering. What actions do I have to do to be there in 10 years where I want to be? And that is your mission. You have to wake up every single day and do things that will get you further and progress you towards that goal of being where you want to be. And that is your mission.
And let me say something.
That's what gives you purpose.
100%. So in regards to what you said, there's two things, right? There's two types of men. There's one that just sits down on his ass, plays video games all day with his clammy Cheeto fingers, jerks off, and that type of person. They absolutely have no direction in life. They're basically the biggest losers on earth. And then there's other people that think they have a mission. So they watch these David Goggins videos and whatever the hell, and they wake up at 5, or they go to gym and they meal prep their food. But the thing is, they don't have a mission either. They're just seeing, oh, this is success as a man. So I'm going to be a virgin. I'm not going to go out with women, have fun, and just lift all day. I'm going to go fabricate, fabricate struggle by lifting 24/7. And I'm going to meal prep, and I'm going to sleep at 8 o'clock, and I'm going to do nothing in my life. You have no mission as well. They're on the two opposite sides of the spectrum, right? This gym bro guy that 24/7 goes to gym. So you're going to gym to get a better life, but you do nothing and all you do is go to gym. And you don't go out with girls. You don't do anything for a better life. That's not life. You're not on a mission. You're just going to gym and being fit. That's not your mission. Unless you're making money off of it and building an empire and feeding your kids off of it. And then there's these losers that play video games all day. They're on the same boat. Even though one of them just thinks they're doing something with their life.
They might look different physically, sure, but they're pretty much both not getting anything done.
100%.
Life is much more than physical fitness. Life is much more than being ripped. That shit is cool, but it's not your entire life. It doesn't matter that much. As long as you're in okay shape, you're not extremely fat or extremely skinny, you look healthy and you look strong, you can use your body in this physical world, then
That's what we always talk about, bro. It's two things.
you could take it further than that, but once you're in that position, you don't have to take it any further. As long as you don't look like a victim.
Yeah,
People want
exactly, bro. Thank you. You said it exactly. As long as you don't look like a victim, as long as you don't look like a guy that someone could just jump. Like when you're with your girl, you know, someone doesn't want to mess with you. When you're with your child,
as long as you're not the first choice of the person to be robbed, right? If there's a robber and saying, I'm going to rob somebody here, as long as you're not the first,
you don't look like a target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to take it any further than that. You can if you want to. You have to make sure you're not getting sidetracked off your mission.
There's two things that we always talk about, bro. It's getting all your baskets full as a man to have a fulfilled life. So that's one thing. If someone's watching this and they're confused on, okay, you're saying don't go to gym. We're not saying that. We're saying have all your baskets full. And number two, which is, I'm a firm believer on this one. We always talk about this, living the first person lifestyle. So if you're ever confused about anything, just tell yourself, am I living the first person lifestyle? That's what a man does. He's on his own 2 feet. He doesn't watch other men, take their advice, and think he's being a man by doing all this. First person lifestyle and get all your baskets full.
Absolutely. And to close it off, if you're one of these people saying, okay, if it's not fitness, then what is it? It pretty much comes down to two things.
Tell me.
Number one is obviously money.
Of course, that's a must in today's world. It's always.
But let's say for an average person, right? Someone that's not as materialistic as us, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will reach a point where, you know, if you're making like $1 or $2 million a year, and you physically can't spend that much money as a normal person, you don't have extremely high taste or whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
and you're happy driving an Audi, and you have a nice place, all your needs are taken care of. The second thing after that is, I would say, impact.
Yeah.
Is the ability to influence others
100%.
and inspire others.
100%.
Your mission is basically either one or two of those things. You're either going to be, you know, dedicating it to money, getting as much money as possible, or number two, which is probably the best thing you can do, is making an impact in this world.
You know what? When you're saying that, I think the actual best thing for that, you know, this is on another note, but it's definitely having a personal brand for yourself that actually makes you money and helps you influence and inspire others. Because you're doing two birds in one stone, man.
You see, back hundreds of years ago, the way to make an impact was to go to war, conquer lands, or hopefully you could born into a royal family or whatever the hell, and you can be a prince and one day you'll be a king. That was how you impacted people, right? It was basically to conquer new lands.
You didn't have the choice. If you were a peasant, you were a peasant.
And the way to do it now is that we no longer make an impact by conquering lands, right? The way, if you look at, let's say, Elon Musk, if you look at Jeff Bezos, like Kevin O'Leary, all these people you see online, what they are doing is being in front of a camera and talking and stating their opinions. Everyone knows who they are. They are making an impact through the internet.
And they're making money with that as well.
So if we're not going to act like we know more than Fortune 500 CEOs and the most influential people on this earth, if they are doing that and they're spending, they already have all their needs covered. They have all the money they need. They have more than they'll ever spend.
And they're
spending their time talking to a camera. So what makes you think you're too good to do that? I'm too good to have IG. I'm too good to make a YouTube channel. You're not too good to do any of those things. As a matter of fact, you should be spending most of your time after you have your finances covered to make an impact in this world.
100%. You know, I would not tell you guys anything that my brother, Haig, and I don't talk about ourselves. What did I tell you years ago, Haig? You know, if you guys don't know, I helped people grow their personal brands and I helped them make a lot of money, which in return was making me money, right? But there's one thing I realized. There's all these gurus, all these influencers, these famous people, even the biggest business guys ever. Look at this guy, Alex Hormozy, right? Why is he in front of the camera? Didn't he sell his company and he's a multimillionaire?
He has more money than he'll ever need for 100 lifetimes.
He said something too. I don't know what the exact quote is. He asked his friend, oh, why do I need to get famous or whatever? And, you know, he ended up getting in front of the camera too. So anytime you see someone telling you, like, I'm going to tell you guys, people are going to give you bullshit advice. Hey, do this AI business, this new thing, this new thing. Stop listening to these people. They are selling you shovels. They're selling you shovels so you could go dig the gold. But you have to look at what they are doing. I will never tell you guys to do something that I don't believe in. And I truly believe that everyone should start their personal brand ASAP, because I look at what these people do, not what they sell. And everyone is doing it. Everyone. So stop looking at this new business model, this, new that. Do what these gurus are doing themselves, not what they're selling you.
Absolutely. And as an individual, you have a certain way of that you live life. You have certain opinions and beliefs, right? And your goal should be to attract as many people that are like-minded to you as possible. You should have everyone that thinks like you in your corner. Am I right or wrong?
100%, bro. 100%. You know,
That's pretty much it. That's all I have to say about it.
yeah, we went off topic a lot, but I actually think this is good because in reality, we actually talked about how to actually bring back classic, like bring back that classic masculinity. This is it. It's everything. It's everything.
It has nothing to do with machoism, guns, muscles, none of those things.
It's brotherhood. It's business. It's having a strong mind and a strong body. It's everything. We talked about everything. It's not one-dimensional. It's not one-dimensional. So this video is very scattered for a reason, because the truth is that classic masculinity isn't just about wearing a suit and tie, isn't about just going to the gym. It's about you, your mindset, and how you go about life, how you conduct business. It is also about how you dress and having a strong body. It's also about having brotherhood, strong mind, strong everything, strong frame. There's so many things to it. There's so many things to it. And yeah, it's not just this one-dimensional thing that people think it is.
Absolutely.
Amen.